pups! Arby here. In today's episode of Art Speaks is going to be a weird combo of a story time and a discussion of sorts about the horror genre. So, without further ado, let's begin. When I was growing up, I've always been told I was a tender child, and almost anything and everything would scare me. A lot of the kids at school would make fun of me for hating scary things they liked, such as Goosebumps. You know, like the Goosebump books and the TV specials and whatnot. It was until that I was 15 that I became a horror fanatic, when I started reading Pokepastas, and I gradually went from there to the original creepypastas, Goosebumps, and just horror all around in general. Yeah, I still get scared every now and then, but that's part of the fun, right? So, with that short story time out of the way, anyone who isn't familiar with the genre, it's a speculative fiction which is intended to or is capable to scare readers and viewers. For example, Stephen King's It has the capability to scare readers and viewers, depending on whether you read the book or watch the movie, i.e. the 90s made-for-TV movie or the 2017 remake. Due to the scare factors the story contains, some elements can be mixed with horror, such as comedy, sci-fi, drama, etc. Some movies and stories can be related to supernatural elements and events, i.e. The Exorcist, The Possession, and possibly Carrie. Now, since horror is a very popular genre, there are some ups and downs that come with it. Movies that executed their element horribly are the following: The Bye Bye Man, Truth or Dare, The Blair Witch Project, Ouija, and the more or less recent Slender Man movie. Some of these movies either try too hard or don't try hard enough. Now, fair warning, there may be some spoilers ahead, but there may not be. I'm not entirely sure. But anywho, the Slender Man movie was far from late, and made no sense whatsoever, with its victims being randomly turned into trees. Like, for no reason. They don't explain why they turned into trees. The Bye Bye Man was a Slender Man knockoff. Truth or Dare turned out to be so bad that it was more of a comedy than a horror. The Blair Witch Project, not much to say about it, or Ouija. I'll link to websites about horror cliches and how to avoid them in the description below. Some horror cliches to avoid are the following: gore for the sake of gore. Now, the Saw movies present this rather interestingly in a very weird way, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this somewhat of a weird torture porn of sorts, with a lot of gore. Now, some movies, like Truth or Dare, execute this very horribly, such as this one scene where this one guy just randomly gets on top of the pool table and gets impaled by a pool stick or whatever the heck it was, I don't remember. And it was just gore for the sake of gore. Demons possessing people and or things for no reason being. Now, movies like The Exorcist, The Possession, and hell, even Annabelle, they execute this very interestingly and very well done. Now, some movies that are just way too forgettable, they don't execute this for very good reasons. They're just like, oh, demons are scary, demons are creepy, let's put them in the horror movie, and we'll have no possible way, shape, or form of how they get possessed by the things and the people they possess. No. Bad. Bad. Not on the carpet. An example of this: games going horribly wrong with people dying, i.e. suicide or demon possession, to be quote-unquote scary. Again, Truth or Dare is a good example for this horrible cliche, because it has been overdone and overused one too many times. If you're gonna do a movie about a game, then please do it right. Please, for the love of God and all that's holy, do it right. And of course, we're gonna go into creepypasta territory, so let's dive right into it. Lavender Town Syndrome in Pokepastas, or the Lavender Town Song, Lavender Town Suicides, etc., whatever the hell you want to call it. At this point, it's a meme. Lavender Town is practically a freaking meme that has probably long since died. About 8 years ago, or 5 years ago, give or take. I mean, look, I get it. Lavender Town is seemingly scary and creepy and whatnot, but in reality, it's way too overdone and way too overused. Please use another song or another place for Lavender Town. I can think of one example off the top of my head. The Cinnabar Mansion. It's creepy. That's all I can say, it's creepy. But regardless, moving forward, video games being possessed or glitched. This has been done in so many creepypastas. Not just in Pokemon creepypastas, but in video game creepypastas as well. Such as Been Drowned, which was a very good creepypasta, by the way. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. Sonic.exe, which was okay, but nowadays it's just like, yeah, it's a boring creepypasta. It should be remade. It shouldn't have been a thing to begin with, because now it's sort of the .exe franchise series, whatever you want to call it. Just no more EXE stories, please. And there are more cliches that I can list at the top of my head. And the creepypasta cliches to avoid will be in the description below, with the horror cliches to avoid links. So yeah. Of course, some people can find ways to make those cliches actually good and build up suspense for a specific story, such as the possession, with the Legend of the Dybbuk box, and the little girl being possessed by Abizu, and Unfriended being a found footage Saw story of sorts. I know, people are gonna say, oh, they just copied off of Saw and whatnot. No, they did not. They actually build up the suspense with the story of Laura Barnes and her spirit possessing a computer or whatever. But you know what? If you want to look up the movie, if you want to watch it, I highly recommend it. From what I've heard, it gets a lot of crap, but I like it. Of course, not every horror story or film is perfect. That's why they say practice makes perfect. If a horror story or film has cliches, then you can either fix them or rewrite it yourself and see what you can do to make it better. No copyright. No copyright, please. For the love of God and all that's holy, no copyright. I believe that's all the time I have for now, but I'll see you later, pups. This is RP reminding you to stay awesome, stay strong, and stay beautiful.